Now, Police Minister Senzo Mchunu has instructed commissioners to stop the hiring of officers in key divisions. The process to halt the appointment will take place particularly in these sectors. That's crime intelligence, ports of entry, as well as the political task team units. Joining me to make sense of these developments, Willem from the Institute of Security Studies, the Institute for Security Studies, should I say. Willem, thank you so much for the time. This does not make sense. These are absolutely key, one would think. Why would those be the first places in which you stop hiring?
Good morning to you. Yeah, ever since the minister came to power, it was actually evident that there's a fresh governance style that he was going to implement. And we saw that he started to bring back the divide between the political responsibility, but also the operational head of the police, where he allowed the operational head in the form of the National Commissioner to actually do his job without interfering, but by guiding him. So we saw in this communique, there are basically three things that the minister addressed. The first thing, as you rightly mentioned, is that he wanted to seize all appointments in the crime intelligence sector. And we believe that the reason for that is that, ever since the Madluri era, the crime intelligence have been captured and they've been rendered almost dysfunctional because of that. There's a lot of corruption. Madluri and two of his counterparts are currently before court for their role in it. And we also saw that Commissioner Jacobs was removed, and there's also some of the management that is under a cloud there at the moment. So I think this is a decisive moment for crime intelligence, where the minister wants a cleanup and want to re-establish the rule of law within the crime intelligence fraternity in order for them to step up to their accountability and responsibility towards South Africa and towards the gathering of crime intelligence. The second thing that you also mentioned there is the border management. Now, border management came under scrutiny for some time now. And we saw that the BMA took over, which was like a clean or new broom that swept very clean. But we also saw some cracks in the whole operation there. Remember that they took over most of the operations, but they cannot take over the functions of the police as per the Constitution, where the police is responsible for the prevention, the combating, and the investigation of crime. So they had to find a way, or they have to find a way, in order to harmonize that and also to come up with a comprehensive strategy and policy in order to streamline the cooperation and also the operations at the border. Fortunately, we have a very competent management structure at the moment in the police at border management. So we are looking forward to see what plan, because he gave them basically a month to come up with a policy in order to address these challenges. He first wants them to investigate what the challenges are, and then he wants them to come up with a policy and how they're going to deal with that. And that is very good leadership from the minister. The last, yes.
I just wanted to ask you and I get what you're saying, because you're going through all of these, and I think that's very important. Crime intelligence weakening, port of entry, BMA got involved there, political task team units, those are ultimately very important as we try to stamp out corruption as well. Does this weaken the integrity of policing in South Africa?
I don't think so. I think, the police is weak at the moment. We saw that there's a 75% of the population have a distrust in the police and the ability of the police. We also see that the detection rate is just above 15%. That is your from arrest to prosecution to sentencing of criminals. And that deteriorated the trust of the public in the police. We believe that these measures, these decisive measures by the minister, are part of his strategy in order to bring the police back to standard of what they're supposed to be in order to serve the country. It sometimes it's painful. And sometimes some unpopular decisions have to be made. But as long as it fit into the long-term strategy and it's turning around the ship, then we should support the minister.
Yeah, and it's going to be massive questions around whether there's efficacy and efficiency then in this job being done. Because if these three areas then get weakened in any particular way, that would be a problem. Is it now just a case of trying to find the right people for the job as opposed to just hiring in those segments? Or what actually changes from here?
Yeah, we should remember from the Mdluri area, you had people that have been appointed to actually capture the crime intelligence and the police and all the other state agencies. The heads have been removed, but those people, the apparatus or the machine that has been established within these agencies, they are still there. And we believe that this is part of a purge to get rid of those elements that are sabotaging the credibility and also the functioning of these establishments. And we believe that this is one way of cleaning it out and start with a new leaf in order to bring police back on the right track. And that is not only the policing, but also the crime intelligence and your intelligence. We saw that there was a similar purge in the senior management of the National Intelligence Service. So we believe from government side that creates a demonstrate a political will in order to address these challenges.
Willem, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it this morning. Willem Elsa from the Institute for Security Studies. They're helping us unpack just the halting then of hiring for officers in key divisions, crime intelligence, ports of entry, and of course then the political task team as well, and what that means for policing.